Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon for those of you who are not on the West Coast with us here. My name is Roseanna, and I've had the privilege of helping to launch and to lead the University of Chicago Crime Lab and the University of Education Lab since 2008. I'm so honored to welcome all of you to Los Angeles, a city that has been at the forefront of innovation when it comes to impact on gun violence and violence prevention more generally. Most importantly, I'm thrilled that today we're celebrating 31 of our nation's brightest lights, most courageous souls, and inspiring leaders who have completed the second cohort of the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. You're an extraordinary group, hailing from 20 cities across our country, from my hometown of Chicago to Seattle, to Detroit, to New Orleans, New Jersey, and of course here in Los Angeles. Collectively, our first two cohorts, some of the first cohort are in the room as well, represent cities that account for about 10% of the US population, but tragically, over 20% of US homicides. That underscores why we are here today and the urgency of the work that you all do. The University of Chicago Crime Lab, which is home to the CVILA, is an independent research organization that works in partnership with policymakers and practitioners to help reduce the twin scourges of gun violence, which is now the leading cause of death for children in our country, as well as a criminal justice system that is too often neither fair or effective. Our work is rooted in the belief that scientific rigor and community insights must coalesce to create meaningful and systemic change. The Community Violence Leadership Academy is our lab's mission coming to life. It represents the transition from research to real-world application, turning our insights and data into a tangible force for societal change. CVILA stands as a testament to our belief that we can significantly reduce violence and build stronger communities with the right tools, the leadership of folks in the room, and by providing a world-class education. I want to acknowledge the incredible steering committee whose hard work brought CVI to life over the last year and who continue to be engaged with us here today. A few of you are in the room and I want to acknowledge you. We have Amber Goodwin, Oressa Napper-Williams, and the one and only Dr. Shani Buggs. In addition, we could not do this without donors who are willing to invest in an idea before we even had anything concrete to show them. I want to single out two in particular who have not just invested their dollars, but also have been exceedingly generous with their time and their wisdom, both of whom are here with us today. Michael Sean Spence from Everytown, and Tamika Perkins from Annie E. Casey. Now, to our guests, families, and friends, thank you for being here with us today and for being there every day for your loved ones who do this life-saving work that requires so much of them and which too often goes unrecognized and unappreciated. You too make the sacrifice with them, and thank you for being here to support them and today to celebrate them. To our soon-to-be graduates, I want to thank you for the work you do day in and day out to make our community safer, healthier, and more just, and for taking a chance on us by giving us your time, your talent, and your trust, for coming to us with an open mind and an open heart. I'm eternally grateful and so inspired by each of you. While you have been with us, you've taken the opportunity to reflect, to be challenged, to challenge others, and to dream about a world of greater peace and opportunity for all. I can't wait to see what you all do next. I'm now pleased to introduce Dr. Chico Tillmon, the Executive Director. He's, as you know, the executive director of the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy, and so much more. Your unwavering commitment to making this academy a reality is nothing short of inspiring. I am in awe of you and all that the team has accomplished. Dr. Tillmon.
Man, at moments like this in life, you are both breathless and speechless because you take on these daunting tasks and these dreams, only imagining what it'll be like if they come true, but the realization is far more enjoyable and rewarding than the dream ever is. And you find yourself questioning yourself, saying, do I deserve this honor? Or why am I privileged to have the opportunity to take this journey with such remarkable individuals who I admire, who inspire me, who push me, who challenge me, who teach me, and who check me. First of all, I gotta recognize somebody that in their absence, Dr. Jens Ludwig, who's the director of the entire crime lab. Jens and Roseanna took a chance on this ambitious institutionalization of this field that many people had denied, rejected, cast aside, didn't want to invest in. And they gave us the opportunity to do something which many people thought was unimaginable. That is, take people who have lived experience and had not yet accessed higher education and couple those things together to produce something unexplainable. There's so many people in the room. Roseanna began naming names. I don't want to start it because if I leave somebody out, I feel horrible at the end. But it's so many people in here, man, and I just want to thank you, thank you, thank you. This graduation don't happen without you. This moment in time don't happen without you. I got to give a shout out. Could everybody from Los Angeles please stand up first? Not the students, but the other people that came out from Los Angeles. Let me say this. I appreciate you for welcoming us into your city, for showing me love, for working behind the scenes. They made sure that this event took place in a way that you really gonna be able to enjoy it and respect it for years to come. Secondly, I gotta say something about this steering committee. For 7 months, we went around the country, sitting in rooms, trying to construct something that had never been done. That's the thing, this is something that's never been done. And do it in a way, well, it will be real respected by other sectors in the ecosystem. And man, I gotta say, these are the most dynamic people on the planet. Because what they created, man, is gonna go far beyond my time on this planet and their time on this planet, and it's gonna create a legacy. Lastly, the graduates. Man, I know y'all glad y'all don't gotta deal with me no more. But I wanna say this though, right? Real friendship and genuine love forces me to push you to the brink of greatness. I have to push you. I have to prod you. I have to challenge you because I see things in you that are far greater than I see in myself. And it's up to you to take this to the next level. And you have to do things you have to lay a layer on the cake that's above what we've laid. So it's going to be difficult at times, but I promise you, everything we poured into you is going to be worth it. We tried to do 3 things with this academy and this cohort. The first thing we tried to do was enlighten you. And when I say enlighten, we wanted to give you something that had greater knowledge or information to deepen your understanding of this body of work. The second thing we wanted to do was energize you, recharge you, help you get your vitality back, because we understood that many of us don't practice self-care, neglect ourselves, and often suffer from helping everybody else and denying ourselves, this compassionate fatigue. Lastly, we wanted to empower you by not just connecting you to funders and people in government, but by connecting you and bringing you together. And secretly coalition building across the country so that you could take this thing around the country and transform this country that we live in.
Yeah. Come on now.
Thank you. I could never thank you enough for what you poured into me. I could never thank you enough for the journey that we took together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I gotta come back one time. Hey, look, I gotta say something too, real quick. I ran through a lot of challenges, at first, putting everything together. And 2 people really stepped up outside of my brother, Melvin Haywood. It was Amber and my brother, Mike De La Rocha. And man, I got to bring them to the stage. Please hear from these 2 dynamic people in this body of work and allow them to pour into you.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? I'm Amber Goodwin. This is Mike De La Rocha. We're really excited to be here. I was joking earlier today that at the first who here was at the first graduation in DC? Raise your hands. I didn't have a task there. There was nothing that I just was there to support. But what I did do, I was the person, probably me and Greg Jackson were crying the most the entire time. And so this is a time I'm like, this will be a time of joy. I won't be crying the entire time. But we want to just congratulate you all on the incredible work that you're doing. I want to also just start by talking to Marcus and also Chico. It's not easy to start an organization. It's incredible to be able to have the backing of University of Chicago and have funding to do it, but you had to have a vision for something that you couldn't actually see, right? There is no roadmap, there isn't a framework for a leadership academy, and so being able to do something like that is really incredible. It's transformational. It will continue to keep our community safe. And so I just want to give Chico another round of applause for all of your leadership and your work. I do think we get together and celebrate a lot, but I personally think that the true measure of a leader is not what happens when you're getting awards and accolades and even graduations. It's what's happening behind the scenes when times are tough. And Chico, have we had some tough times? We've had some tough times together. We've made it through a lot of tough times, but this is an incredible part of the public safety ecosystem in this country, the work that you all are doing. You all keep our community safe. You don't just keep cities safe, you keep all of our communities safe. I used to say that you guys were all my heroes. I think you guys are actually superheroes. Is there anything more heroic than to be able to go into communities that you don't know or you do know, to people that you've broken bread with and help keep our communities safe. And so you should know that you have people across the country in places like Austin, Texas, who are supporting you all. You all are in the second cohort, and so you guys are really the trailblazers. You guys are going to be the ones that are going to be in the history books for the rest of time. And I know that's not why you guys did this, right? You did this because the work is not easy, but you're doing this because you want to save lives. And so we are just incredibly honored to be here. I just also want to say a couple other things that about the program of why it's so transformational, and I think for the field, by the way, when Chico asked us to speak, I was like, there's no way I'll talk for more than 3 or 4 minutes. And now I'm up here like filibustering. But I just want to say something that many of us have worked on issues like gun violence or criminal justice reform, different things like that for a long time. There isn't something like this anywhere in violence prevention and gun violence prevention. So this is very innovative, but also it's something that is so needed for the field. You all should know, you'll get a lot of accolades just from the graduation, but you all should know and feel and walk out of here knowing that you deserve this. You deserve to be rewarded. You deserve to be celebrated today, but all the time. And so we're hoping that this is the start of a lot of celebrations for the incredible work that you guys are doing. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, who is a hometown person, to maybe officially welcome us to LA. But congratulations, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome. My name is Mike De La Rocha. I'm smart enough to know when Chico and Amber asked me to say some words that I should find any way to get to yes. First, I just want to say I want to welcome you, but also give acknowledgement to the Tongva, who's the indigenous people of this land. They're the caretakers of this land, and so I'm always very mindful of where I'm stepping into. Secondly, I had something I wanted to say, but when Chico started talking, it like jarred me. 9 years ago, my father unexpectedly passed away. He was a man that immigrated from Chihuahua, Mexico. My family's from Mexico. This land that we're on was Mexico. And he always reminded me about the importance of relationships. That when we talk about social movements or social justice, it's all based upon relationships. And the one thing that I want to say more than anything is when I heard the heart of Chico, it reminded me why I came today. Because in my lowest moments, in my highest moments, I could depend on an Amber, I can depend on a Chico, Arissa, and others in this room. And I just want to say as a father, as a son, as a brother, just thank you. Because when we say words like, what keeps us safe? We keep us safe. What keeps us safe is all of you in this room. And I know how hard this work is. And I also know that you guys aren't appreciated enough. And so from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. Give you as much gratitude and appreciation because this work is tough, this work is hard. And when we think about public safety, this is the first responders that I first and will always think about. And so at the end of the day, I just want to say that this is all rooted in love. And thank you, Chico. Thank you, all the graduates. Congratulations on an incredible journey. And I look forward to doing everything in my power to support you as you continue to grow. So thank you very much.
Let's give them a rousing applause. One of the most powerful things that we're able to do is to join together. Unity has the power to destroy darkness, has the power to break chains, has the power to transform homes, neighborhoods, communities, countries, and peoples. What you have done over these last 5 months has to demonstrate what the power of love looks like. You've been scattered around the country, often feeling by yourselves, often not appreciated, misunderstood, trying to make an impact in the community that you live in and that you love. And despite all the opposition, you press through. You fight every day. You go to bed tired and can barely sleep because the phone rings. And you're heavy and holding the weight of so many hearts that are bleeding, so many voices that feel unheard. When Dr. Tillmon, Marcus McAllister, Roseanna Ander, Jens Ludwig, when all of this wonderful committee, this board of people who have been doing the work for generations, upon whom we stand on their shoulders, these amazing people who have put their lives on the line to save lives, came together to create this school. We were thinking of not just you, cohort 2, not just you, cohort 1, but of our communities, of our children and our children's children, because no one's going to save us but us. So as we have come together, thank you. You haven't heard it enough. Thank you for every moment, every tear, every time of anger that you had to hold back, frustration. Thank you. You are the hope of not our community, but our country and of our world. Give yourselves a round of applause. One of our great voices, making a difference in this world, making things different and better for people. There's so many voices that want to say thank you, and I think we ought to let them. So with no further ado, here's a little bit of the love you deserve.
As mayor of LA, it is my honor to welcome you to our city as you continue your journey in the University of Chicago Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. We're proud to host you here and even prouder of the work you're doing to create safer and more just communities across the country. Los Angeles has faced its own share of challenges with gun violence, and we know the real change happens when leaders like all of you step up with your passion, vision, and a commitment to collaborate. Your participation in this academy shows that you are part of that change, working to make a lasting impact on communities most affected by violence. Thank you for your dedication. We're excited to have you here and look forward to seeing the incredible difference you will make.
Hello, everyone. I'm Congressman Tony Cardenas, and I have the distinction to represent the incredible people of the Northeast San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. I'm honored to join you in the celebration of this major milestone in your journey as leaders in the fight to reduce gun violence and create safer communities across the country. Over the past 5 months, you've gained hands-on training in everything from program management to data literacy, evaluation, and equipping you to lead community violence intervention efforts with even greater impact. As the second cohort of the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy, you've shown incredible dedication to improving the lives of those in the most vulnerable communities. Your hard work, passion, and commitment to learning will contribute to making our neighborhoods safer and more resilient. This is only the beginning, and we are excited to see how you will continue to build and strengthen the CVI field. We are so proud of you in all of your accomplishments. I wish you all the best in everything that you do.
Hey everybody, it's Governor Wes Moore, and it's a privilege to celebrate your important milestone in our collective effort to reduce gun violence and build safer communities. Over the past 5 months, as students in the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy, you gained invaluable skills in program management, data literacy, and evaluation. These tools will enable you to lead violence intervention efforts with greater impact. And I want to give special recognition to my guy, Corey Winfield, the site director of Safe Streets Baltimore. Corey, your leadership is bringing hope and essential support to our great city. This moment isn't just the beginning. This moment is a continuation of how you're shaping a vital movement, shaping the future of violence prevention here in Maryland and across the country. Your passion and hard work will make our neighborhoods safer and more resilient. So I congratulate you on this achievement, and I thank you for your commitment to making it matter that you were here in the first place.
What's up, y'all? This is Greg here, Deputy Director for the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. And I want to congratulate you all, the second class of the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. Big shout out to Dr. Chico, University of Chicago, and so many that poured into making this cohort such a great success. This is huge, and that's why the Vice President was at the inaugural celebration, because she knew, and our team knows, that the way that we end violence is by working with those who are in the communities, working with individuals who are most at risk or most vulnerable to violence. But we can't just solve this problem without scaling and strengthening these efforts, but most importantly, building a pipeline of new leaders and new folks who can help us guide our way towards a new path to address violence and spread peace throughout our communities. So I want to commend you for getting through the entire program. I know it was tricky. I know it was a lot of traveling. I know you dealt with a lot of personalities, some fun, some headaches, but all of which hopefully contributed to your journey to help us address this crisis of gun violence.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy KG. I want to give a big shout out to my dog, my brother, Terry Young, and all the graduates of University of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to all y'all. Very proud of you guys. Keep up the good work. Salute.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Murphy, U.S. Senator from Connecticut. I want to offer my congratulations to the graduating class from the University of Chicago's incredible Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. You guys do fantastic work. Obviously, we are more deeply and more significantly funding community anti-gun violence work all across the country, thanks to the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the 2002 gun bill, which I wrote along with my Democratic and Republican co-authors. It's changing lives. The investment we've made in you has helped to drive down urban gun violence rates all across this country by 15 to 20%. Mass shootings are down by 20 to 30% this year. We're making a difference. Obviously, we have a long way to go, and the expertise that you're going to pick up as part of this Leadership Academy is going to make a difference. Thanks so much to my great friend, Jacqueline Santiago Nazario. You obviously are one of the great leaders in Connecticut, in my hometown of Hartford, and hopefully you will yourself bring back some skills to help us in our work to combat community violence in Hartford and throughout the state. Congratulations to the graduating class.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Cohen. I'm the Acting Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Justice Programs at the U.S. Department of Justice. Really glad to be able to congratulate Cohort 2 of the Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. It was an honor to meet with you all sometime back here in Washington, D.C. and learn more about the work that you're leading all across the country. Truly life-saving, incredibly important work that you all do, and so glad that you had the opportunity to build upon that work with lessons learned here from the CVI Leadership Academy. So wish you all the best. Congratulations on this significant milestone, and thank you for your leadership and your service and for literally saving lives all across our country. Wishing you the best and grateful for the work that you do.
Hello, this is Mayor Brandon Johnson from the greatest city in the world, Chicago. Gun violence is one of the biggest challenges facing America, including Chicago. And that's why my administration is committed to investing in CVI organizations, and it's why we are proud to have been the birthplace of the University of Chicago's Community Violence Intervention Leadership Academy. This academy is one of a kind, and my hope is that the past 5 months and the connections you've made will enable you to further support your organizations and communities. So congratulations to the second cohort of the CVILA.
Good afternoon. My name is Marcus McAllister, affectionately known at the CVILA Academy as the Dean of Students, which I proudly get to work and serve these wonderful students that I've met. The Bible tells us that blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. It is such a blessing to pour into those that are going to serve in that capacity and be children of God. And that's truly what these cohort of 31 blessed HOTEP individuals are doing. Amen. God is good. All the time. And all the time. God is good. Amen. Amen. I better stop because I might have to take up an offering next. I am a pastor, but I'm not going to do that. But speaking of offerings, the next individual I want to bring up here knows very well about offerings, because this individual is someone that from the day I met him 7 years ago has been pouring into CVI, not just with his mouth, not just with fancy words, but with $1 behind that amount. He's been in support of this work. He's been in support of the build out of this academy. And that is none other than my brother, my friend, none other than Mr. Michael Sean Spence. Let's give him a hand of applause.
I didn't know a pastor could be that quick, right? Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and congrats. Congrats to all of you. Today is a phenomenal, phenomenal day, in part because we get to celebrate the people who matter the most. I have the honor of being a member of the advisory board, also a member of the faculty. I've had the unique opportunity to meet so many of you one-on-one. Each of you have left your own imprint on me. I just want each of you to know how special this moment is because of how special each one of you are. As was mentioned, I have had the opportunity to contribute to this program and to this work across the nation in my role at Everytown. I'm the managing director of Community Safety Initiatives, but also the founder of the Everytown Community Safety Fund. And we have three main goals. One is to sustain the life-saving efforts of folks on the front line, specifically investing in community-based violence intervention programs, but more importantly, the practitioners who lead the way. The second goal of ours is to expand the scope of the training and the capacity offerings, recognizing that that's how we ultimately scale your work to more people and places in need. And lastly, our goal is to work collaboratively, to work in partnership with each and every single one of you to unlock more resources. Resources like the CVILA Academy, right? But also the funding that was mentioned in the video coming from the federal government. And as I was thinking about today, and I know Amber mentioned it, I think Chico mentioned it as well, it dawned on me the historical impact of this program. The fact that this truly is the first time this sort of convening, this sort of offering, this sort of opportunity was presented to people who look and live like me. And it brought me back to thinking about another first, particularly weeks away from making history again in this nation. And I thought of Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman to go to Congress, the first black person to be a major party nominee for president. We talked about our forefathers, we talked about our ancestors, we talked about the people who laid the groundwork for us, right? And there's something that Shirley mentioned, and I want to share it with you without messing it up, so I'm going to read it to y'all. She said, "You don't make progress by standing on the sidelines, by whimpering, by complaining. You make progress by implementing ideas." I appreciate Marcus. And he said something as he introduced me, and I'm very proud of that. He said that I've tried to provide more than just words. I've tried to actually help implement ideas, help implement strategies like street outreach and hospital-based violence intervention, youth-focused CBT. I try to implement those ideas by supporting those who are on the front lines of implementing those strategies, those evidence-based strategies, those strategies that we all know work, but that need real investment and real opportunity to meet scale. And each of you know this well. Each of you are going to return to your communities with a new box of tools, a new skill set, enhanced skills, in fact, because I also want to recognize that this is not the starting point for any of you. Any of you. All of you have been doing this work. Some for decades, some without the accolade, the recognition, some who have done it with the money in your pocket, not expecting a grant to ever come. Never expecting the University of Chicago to identify and affirm your work. Each of you have been doing this. So this isn't the beginning, but this is a continuation of the work, the life-saving work you're already doing in your communities. And I want to also note that I know it's not easy. I kind of blinked twice when Congressman Murphy mentioned the decline in mass shootings, because I know it doesn't feel like that. I know we like to talk about the overall decline in gun violence, particularly from the peak of the pandemic that we've experienced, but I know hyper-local, block by block, street by street, my guy Marcus Ellis will tell you, many people don't feel like that. A lot of people don't feel like that. You know, I come from East Elmhurst, Queens. That's where Rikers is. That's where Malcolm X's house was firebombed. That's where Harry Belafonte, despite his great success, bought his first home. And I know in my community, it doesn't feel like that. But that's why each and every single one of you are so important. Y'all are the vanguard. Y'all are the ambassadors of peace, of community safety. You represent more than just the completion of a 5-month program. You guys represent the future. You represent what's possible. You represent what can happen when we invest in ourselves. So I'm going to stop there because I could go on forever and ever, but I just want to know I love y'all. I love y'all. Our community loves y'all. We need y'all. We're rooting for you. And forever, consider me a supporter, a partner, and a collaborator in the work. Let's not stop this partnership today. Let's continue this until there's no more gun violence in this nation. Thank you, guys.
That truly deserves another round of applause. One technical note, for some in the live stream, the audios had technical difficulties. They're still being sorted, but the video will have all of the audio. So fear not. And secondly, I would be remiss if not to give honor and respect to a man who has done a lot. He is known for sports, but what he has done for human beings and being there and helping people develop and become who they need to be is beyond the work that he has done. And he's reached the 1%, the highest level of basketball excellence. I would be remiss not to just give honor for a moment and give respect to his presence, our Hall of Famer, Kevin Garnett. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you. You've heard a lot. You've done a lot. Now we want you to hear the most important voice in the room, yours.
CVILA experience for me has been
amazing, eye-opening, phenomenal. And you know what? I think it's hard to put in words for real.
It's been invigorating.
It's been brain expanding is the way I'm going to phrase it.
Unbelievable. Learned a lot. It was very hands-on experience.
If nothing else, it has literally lit up just a fire in me to be a better leader.
This here has the potential to be the academy of all academies.
Allowing us the ability to connect with people from various cities, various backgrounds.
I'm from Los Angeles.
Detroit.
Newark, New Jersey. Jackson, Mississippi.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Baltimore, Maryland.
And from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Greensboro, North Carolina.
The city of Birmingham.
In the U.S. Virgin Islands.
The city of Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago, Illinois.
From Brooklyn.
Harlem.
Bronx, New York.
32 other people in 22 cities in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
It's really amazing to see that we have people across this country that's doing great work.
Being able to travel and be immersed in the communities across the country has been transformational.
Just to know that there are others out here who take the work the same way that I do.
Just to be able to see everybody coming together and really giants in their own right, doing their own thing in their own city, their own state.
Brilliant minds coming all together under one roof.
Doing the same work, but teaching each other at the same time.
To be respected as a leader and lend your expertise as well.
To challenge the way we've been doing work and to have support behind those challenges so we can make some adjustments. That iron sharpens iron approach.
The ability to create close relationships that are not competitive with other industry leaders across the country.
As leaders, we're often seen as the people who are always supposed to have the answers, but this time we weren't. As I said, we actually had to have the questions.
Just being here to be able to be a sponge and soak up all the knowledge.
I didn't have a clue of the depth of the work that is happening in Los Angeles, in New York, in Chicago, everywhere. Being immersed into the communities and getting the firsthand experience, hearing from the community members, not just the community leaders, what I've learned is that our communities are more alike than they are different, regardless of the landscape.
But now to see that we are also having some of the same battles as well is something that I think can galvanize us and help us to, to go to another level.
One of the biggest takeaways for me is that we will not move the needle in gun violence prevention unless we all, as leaders in this space, level up.
To be able to come and receive such robust, world-renowned information.
Very useful right now in real time. We're in class and I'm like, yo, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. I'm texting folks, screenshots of, yo, put this into play.
My biggest takeaway is to not leave it here and to go out and use it.
Different ways to go after the funding, putting us in a room with fundraisers.
Different ways to strengthen the ecosystem nationally.
The greatest takeaway I brought from this academy, the fact that for 25 years I was incarcerated in the Department of Justice. But guess what? I was able to visit the Department of Justice in the White House,
and I realized that the power was not me really going to the White House. The power was for me to get the White House come and look for me and see what I'm doing in my community.
We're changing the world.
And we can't do it alone. None of us are the Messiah. So we need a lot of people to come together to build community and safe place for all.
The biggest takeaway for me is the courage that Dr. Tillmon had when launching this program.
To the staff at CVILA.
The instructors, Dr. Chico, Tillmon.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get me to cry here.
Mark McAllister.
Kim, Alicia.
And as well as the leader of all this, Ms. Roseanna.
Giovanni, Heather, and Tierra. And if I've forgotten anybody, left it out, charge it to my head and not my heart, because I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you for your faith in me. Thank you for your faith in our cohort.
What you have done is a beautiful thing, because you gave me hope, you gave me understanding, and you gave me love. When I believed that at one point in time, I didn't have it in myself.
Y'all work together so well and y'all support us, and we feel the love and we love y'all back. Thank you.
And I certainly want to thank the folks that behind the scenes that were doing the arranging for the travel and the flights and the hotels and getting all the canvas information up. It's just been such a professional experience.
But to see somebody really get up and they emailing you back at 5 in the morning to make sure you got something.
I realize that it takes a lot to put something like this on and to be able to navigate that and the personalities. I want to shout out the staff for doing an amazing job of keeping us centered and keeping us grounded on the reason that we're here and the reason why we're doing this work.
I just want to thank them for the hard work and dedication.
Y'all did an amazing job. Y'all picked amazing instructors. Y'all poured into us.
Keep producing leaders.
Just continue to be a driving force of change. And we all are living proof that when you put action towards a vision, this can happen.
You have planted seeds. Man, they're gonna save so many lives and impact so many generations of young people who will never have to see any jail or any kind of murder, because they, whom you've taught us to impact, will affect generations to come.
It's been an amazing experience, and it's gonna be emotional at the conclusion of it, because hanging out with you guys has been a wonderful and empowering experience for me.
This won't be the last time Cohort 2 or University of Chicago staff will be keeping in contact with me, because we built a family.
My message to the next cohort would be
that y'all better come with it.
Just come in locked in.
Come in here with an open mind and always position yourself as a learner.
If it feels like it's too much, that's good. That just means that you're learning.
I know we all have full-time responsibilities, but it's so worth your undivided attention.
Dig into this work, dig into this cohort.
do not be ashamed to ask and build relationships, because this opportunity will grow you and bless you.
And make sure you download all of the PowerPoint presentations.
Y'all in the right place. Y'all all deserve to be here.
They could have picked anybody in the world, but you was chosen. So come here and make sure that you utilize and you get all the skills and you pay attention, because it's not easy work. It's going to be hard work, but it's going to be worth it at the end.
Prepare yourself. And this is a space that is really divine. And if I had to tell anything to any of the new up-and-coming core members, I'll tell them just get yourself ready for love, because it's really a space of love.
This is family, and we're about to be a part of a bigger family. So embrace that. You're not alone in this work.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. There was somebody I want to thank, and that is the producer of that, Mr. Tarek. I don't know if he's in here, but we gotta. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that, man. And thank God for technology, boy, because back when we was in school, we didn't have all this type of technology. But I'm privileged right now to bring up a couple of students that were chosen by their peers to be the speakers on today. They happen to be two students that I know very, very well. And that's none other than my sister from Detroit, Alia Harvey-Quinn. And my brother from LA, Mr. Ben Taco Owens. So if you all can make your way up here and bless us with some words, we really appreciate you and we love you.
What up though, y'all? First thing I want to say is thank you. Chico and Marcus, y'all have been rocking out with Detroit for a long, long, long time. Thank you for always answering the phone. That must have been rough. Thank you for spending time in our city and training me and my team. Thank you for wrestling through the hard parts of the work. Thank you to the University of Chicago. There are a lot of people who don't value this industry, who don't value the people at the center of violence, who don't value credible messengers. Thank you for investing in this field. I want to also thank the CVILA team. Y'all kept us together. Y'all kept meeting with us. Y'all were super supportive. Like they said, responding to emails quickly, calling folks. You were really, really helpful. We appreciate that. Thank you to Hotep 31. I appreciate y'all. So I wouldn't call myself a violence interventionist, but the first time I participated in an intervention, I was 5 years old. It was the 80s. I found a man in the front closet of my home tied to a chair crying. It turns out that my dad, a former Black Panther and self-proclaimed career criminal, asked local dealers to stop selling drugs in the part of the neighborhood where my friends and I played. Stuff got wild. My uncle got kidnapped. My dad stood his ground. I ain't had no idea what was going on. I was just in the closet playing with this guy with my comb and some barrettes and some of my mama's makeup. And he continued to cry. And so eventually I asked him why he was crying. And he looked at me and he said, "Your dad is gonna kill me." And I said, "Nah, my dad is not gonna hurt anybody. He never does. All you gotta do is be good for a little while, then you can act bad again." So eventually, my mom and him found me in the closet when they woke up playing with this guy after a lot of makeup and a bunch of barrettes. And I made my dad promise not to hurt him. At this point in my life, my family was my mom, my two little sisters, and my dad's quote-unquote gang, which was a group of revolutionary brothers that I knew as my uncles, my godfathers, my family. I only knew them as nurturing. And as I grew up, I would come to learn a lot more about how society viewed our people and my family, bad guys. The next time I saw my godfathers after my father's incarceration was on America's Most Wanted. This was the crack era, and everybody's father, brother, uncle was in prison. Now, the reason I share this story is because most of us have memories like this. Memories that cling and linger, memories that if we let them, will tell us what rooms we belong in. They'll tell us what neighborhoods we can or cannot move into. They'll tell us what we deserve. We take our loved ones and these stories and their voices with us as we go into the White House, as we go into the boardroom, as we advocate in City Hall. And that's what CVI is. Community violence intervention is the ministry of holding space for the humanity of our most traumatized. It is an invitation for each of us to be in deeper relationship with our dignity, our compassion, our own divinity. We hold these tensions and we transform trauma into hope. This is what unites us. They asked me to speak on what unites us. I see two very important things. I see a room full of sincere community leaders that I have had the pleasure of getting to know. And I see a room full of people who have access to power and privilege that other people who come from where we come from don't get invited into. So when we go into these rooms and the power brokers who are standing in between millions of dollars for CVI and opportunities for our community asks us questions that are rooted in the belief that Black and brown people are inherently violent, are inherently unvaluable, and all we can hear is that he or she thinks that I, my dad, my son, my family members, the people that I love, are inherently violent, inherently unvaluable. May we have the grace of Letitia and Babatunde. May we get them together like Brother Marcus, Tracy, and Alicia. May we have the charisma to light up the room like Hakeem and So-So. May we have the most compelling story on the tip of our tongues that will draw our targets in and shake loose opportunities for our people the way we watch Corey and Lanaya share beautifully, bravely, and vulnerably. May we remember to stand on business and let our light shine like Coco and Councilwoman Tate. May we set the vision for change like Dr. Chico. May you own that damn room. We work with giants and superstars, but know that your light, your role, your gift is just as precious as the forefathers of this field. Nurture it. Invest in your own growth. And value that same light in the people that sit next to you. Because no matter what dominant white culture would have us believe about ourselves, I see a room of builders. I see a room full of geniuses. Geniuses like Justin, who just this week pointed out our whole industry into the right direction to capitalize on AI adoption. Geniuses like Pastor Phil, who's at the verge of understanding very substantive long-term healing and complete transformation. We are solving our sector's challenges together in this very room. So while you network with the greats, make sure you value your brothers in this room and make room for us sisters. And value us equally, because there is nothing that happens in our community that the mamas, the wives, the daughters don't toil through with you. It is our sincerity that unites us. The fact that we stand in between these two worlds together unites us. I hope that we leave here actually united, actually in partnership, actually building with each other. My call to action would be replicate yourself in someone on your team. Give them the game, y'all, and elevate. None of us are at risk of solving this crisis alone. Replicate yourself, elevate, partner, grow, repeat.
Wow. I don't know if I can give my little... Hotep? 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 All right. 31. I got to do a disclaimer to my LA family because they probably think I went and joined another gang. So let me tell them what Hotep is. It just means that we have peace within us. We're at peace. So in LA, we can start telling them when the dude asks you where you from, you can tell them, Hotep? Hopefully that give you a pass. I hope it do. 25 years ago, I was in a federal prison. And in federal prison, there's a unique group of people that's there. You meet people from all over the world, people from different lifestyles, people that have committed different crimes, whether it's somebody that robbed a bank, maybe somebody that was a drug kingpin. You might even meet the judge that sentenced the drug kingpin in prison. That's how diverse and unique federal prison was. But I had a friend in there named Eric. Eric was out of San Francisco, and Eric was in there. He had did something with some money. He worked at Wells Fargo. And so we would walk the lap, because that's what we do in prison. We walk laps and we talk and we chop it up. And one day I'm talking to Eric, we hitting the laps, and I'm curious. I'm like, Eric, you know, counterfeit money, I ain't met nobody in here that's in here for counterfeit money. You know, does that come through the bank a lot? He said, nah, not much. I said, oh, okay, but when they do they have like a special person that, you know, goes out and goes track people down? He said, nah, they figure that it's not worth paying someone $50,000 a year to go track down $500 worth of counterfeit money. He said, we just get it, we throw it in the trash. I said, wow. I said, but you know, some good counterfeit money out there. I've seen some in different places. I said, so how do y'all track that? You give y'all, what kind of training they have for you? He said, Taco, they don't give us no training in how to spot counterfeit money. He said, what they do is, all they do is give us real money. And we just count real money. And as soon as the counterfeit touch our hand, we know it's fake. This right here is real. This CVILA is real. This is something that, and no matter what people think about it or whatever they might think, so I had to tell my daughters, sometimes they think I'm going on vacation. You're going to Chicago, New York, I want to go. No, you don't. I'm going to work. This is school. I did fly 12 planes. I was on a plane 12 times. One night, me and Tim, we had to spend the night in Dallas airport. Had to sleep there. We missed our flight. Time was all thrown off a couple of times and getting no sleep. Put on about 30 pounds. Was separated from my families at times, but it was worth it. It was worth it. And I'd do it all over again if I had to, because you're worth it. Because we are working it. We are working. We are making CVI what it is in this country. And I don't know if we really sat down and grasped that, like the impact that you could have on a country with over 300 million people. That's what we doing. So I just want to shout out to HOTEP 31, my class, and say thank you for everything. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for sharing yourselves, being vulnerable. Thank you for those salty tears that we seen you cry and you just opened up. I want to give a special shout out to the women. I've never seen so many women. Women in the CVI space from all over the country. And some of them, they was acting like Big Mama, y'all. We be talking or doing something, they give us that Big Mama look, and we demand to get back in line. But these sisters are phenomenal. With HOTEP 31, nobody was left behind. People needed homework, people needed a ride. We go on trips and we in another state. That bus ain't leaving till everybody that came with us is back on that bus. If somebody need help with homework, and speaking of homework, I would ask for aspirin from a lot of people because I get stuck in Canva and y'all helped out and y'all looked out. But we never left each other behind, never. We made sure that people was good. And one thing that I learned about HOTEP 31 is it's a bad habit. Y'all don't judge LA because y'all probably do it in y'all city. But in LA, a lot of times people will ask you how you doing while they walking past you. They won't even wait for a response. How you doing? Hey man, I'm doing bad. Where you going? Not with HOTEP 31. The power that HOTEP 31 has, that this work has, the brilliant minds. I mean, these people in this cohort, I mean, the things that you shared and you taught me, I mean, it didn't come from a university. It came from your mind. It came from your lived experience, the things that you've been through and taught me. I couldn't think of how, I could repay you because you shared that with me. I'm confident now that if I go to your city, your state, wherever, and Drop your name, I'm good, because you good. I don't want you to ever undermine your value. This work sometimes is extremely thankless. You don't get the thanks. You're saving people's lives and they don't even know it. You putting out fires and canceling rumors and they don't even know it. They somewhere smoking a blunt. And you saving their lives, man. You might not ever get the thanks that you feel that you entitled to. You might not get the flowers. So let me thank you in advance. Thank all of you. I want to say thank you to the staff, Alicia, Heather, Kim, Tierra, Giovanni, thank you, Mark, Marcus, and of course, Chico. Of course, we was on Chico bumper. He ended up pulling out all his hair because of us. We was driving him crazy. But he wouldn't take the foot off the gas, so thank you, brother. I want to conclude with stating that for CVILA, it has given us the capacity to expand our collective understanding of CVI work and the best practices across this country. With these innovative minds, we are creating a legacy for CVI work. We making history, y'all. This is gonna be history. Yeah. And so what we're creating, it's not gonna stop. And we have a saying in LA, we don't die, we multiply. Hotep 31, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Real quick, I am the dean, so I can steal a moment right here. I just want to say, the students, they did 2 months in Chicago, and then we did a month in Oakland, and we did a month in New York City, where we were hosted by my brother, Andre Mitchell, who is the czar of New York City for their violence efforts there in New York City. And while we were there, I know, because I visited AT quite a bit, but we were just overwhelmed by Hotep and how the kids, we had a bunch of kids outside and AT would say Hotep and all the kids would just get quiet. And so just wanted to give some props to my brother because he showed us love out there and we adapted at Hotep here. Secondly, real quick, I want to acknowledge, Dr. Tillmon was wanting to do a first-class experience. So it wasn't just about the professors, the lecturers, us, all of us, the CVILA Academy. We also got advisors for the students. And we have a few in the room I want to acknowledge. Brother Christopher Bain. Yeah. Yesterday. Brother A.T. Mitchell. My good sister Sasha Cotton. Paul Carrillo, if he's somewhere in here. And my brother in the back, and then my brother Norman Kerr. We thank you guys for joining us and pouring into these magnificent people. So just wanted to let that be known. At this time, I would like the steering committee to come up here with me. Dr. Chico, all the steering, Amber, Arisa, Dr. Shani Bugs, if you could join us on stage. And if I missed any other advisors that's in here, I love you. Forgive me if I don't see you in here. First group could go ahead and start the lineup, please. Hotep 31. I'd like to bring you to the stage first, Mr. Alex De Paula. Miss Alia Harvey-Quinn. My brother from the Virgin Islands, Antonio Emmanuel. Mr. Babatunde Beeks. Beasley. Mr. Ben Taco Owens. Mr. Corey Winfield. Mr. Charles DeCure. My New Orleans brother, Danny Allen. My Mississippi comrade, Mr. Frederick G. Womack. G. Love you, brother. Mr. Hakim Kashif. Miss Jacqueline Santiago Nazario. Mr. Johnny Page. Harlem's finest, Mr. Justin Napper. Napper. My sister, Letitia McNeil. Miss LaTanya Tate. Miss Lanaya Grayson. Woohoo! My sister Marisol Soso Rivera. My Chi-Town Day One, Mr. Nakenya Keefe Hardy.
Miss Nikisha Tilton. My brother in Christ, Pastor Philip Jackson. The beautiful Raquel Bolton. You're welcome. My Newark, New Jersey brother, Shady Ate the Great Dukes. Great. The life of the room, my sister Shanika Coco Purvis. ATL shorty, Mr. Keisha Shields. My big brother, Terry Young. That's right. The one we call the youngest in charge, Tierra Lemon. My LA brother, Tim Cornicky. Thank you, brother. My brother, Timothy Big Baby Washington. Big Baby. Chi-Town's own Mr. Tony Woods. My sister, Miss Tracy Campbell. And last but not least, my sister from Syracuse, New York, Yolanda Seegers. Yes, ma'am. At this time, no, Dr. Chico, no. At this time, we have Dr. Chico with some closing remarks.
I'm just overwhelmed by the things I've heard, the things I saw today. Weren't our students amazing that spoke today? Come on, give them a round of applause. A few things I want to let you know. For those that are interested, you can get the information from my team. But in addition to the graduation, we're doing a community event nearby, about 15 minutes away, where we intend to give away $200,000 to $300,000 worth of merchandise to individuals in the community. Because we not only want to come to a community and come to Los Angeles, but since you invited us to Los Angeles, my big brother Terry Young, along with CVILA, along with my brother Taco and my brother Tim, we wanted to be a blessing in LA so that we could leave an imprint on the residents who live in our most vulnerable communities. So from 2 to 5, we'll be giving out merchandise to individuals in the community. And lastly, I don't know, if you still got a little energy, we turning all the way up. So tonight, not only are we going to celebrate the cohort and the journey, but we're having a sneaker ball tonight from 8 to midnight. So please come out, enjoy yourself. It'll be open bar for a small period of time, so get here on time. If you come waltz in here at 11 o'clock, the bar might be closed. But no, man, thank you so much for coming out to celebrate these people that do this tireless, important work. And once again, could everybody except the students please stand up and let's celebrate these people who save lives day in, day out across America. We salute you, we thank you, and welcome to the CVILA alumni. Thank you.